see that?
So, wet, we've got all this, which we try to keep it cleaned up. And then all that in there. And we've got tiles over in the jury room fixed to fall. Now this over here, there's a drain on the outer wall of the building, one of the white pipes on the side of the building. That leaked at one time, we went up and went in there and sealed that, and then they had somebody come and reseal it on the outside. Kinda stopped it for a little while, but that one's fixing, that will come down probably the next rain.
Yeah, it looks like it's really swelled up, kinda.
Yeah. So after we fixed it the first time, we put a new tile up, all this is all starting again, and it's really getting about, every time I come up here, there's a new spot out here, so. But I don't know what we're gonna do. I went on the roof yesterday, it still looks, I mean, water's standing in corners, and
It just don't run off, does it?
the tarp in one corner is holding a lot of water, and I guess there's a leak there, but I guess we're getting leaks all over that tarp.
Is that the one that, did Bailey put that, who put that on there?
Brewer, over 25 years ago, yeah. It's been about 35 now.
So,
It's out of its,
Warranty?
lifespan.
Yeah.
all this, I mean, it's just bubbling up.
How does the, what's above us right here?
Oh, Joe?
Is still above us, even in this part of the building?
It's not there.
No, this
Well,
is
no, no.
not, this is a crawl space
Crawl
above us is where the air conditioning unit's at. It's the crawl space that goes through here, that crawls, that leads over into the crawl space of the jail.
Couple box holes crawl through in there.
Yeah.
I've been through there once.
I mean, we crawled through there to get over there to fix that inner drain that time on the inside, and then we had to come on the outside, and put new screws and put sealer around it. But I don't know, we got them coming in the center of that roof in there now, in the center of the ceiling in here, so we're getting them everywhere. It's like every week or every rain, there's a new spot. And,
When we got the roof done before, 25 years ago, I mean, none of us, I guess, were here, but was it for years, we didn't have no issues, so it's just the deterioration of the roof is what's causing the problem?
that's what one of the last guys that went up there with me, he showed me the tarp, and he said, you see all those little spider cracks in this tarp? He says, it's old, and he said,
They're dry
"Those
rot."
little cracks, look
Yeah.
like dry rot.
Yeah.
And he said, that's a way for water to get in.
Mhm.
And then all the bolts or nails or whatever that's holding the main floor, they're coming up and they're sticking up this far into that tarp. So there could be holes everywhere. And that one corner back there, there's a hole somewhere because I've been up there when the wind's blowing and it's lifting it. So we've got holes, cracks, whatever. I mean, I've got sealing around the drains.
Well, Honeywell, that group that, did the evaluation of the building, they're gonna be here, they emailed me either the week of the 23rd or the 27th. So, I mean, we can talk to them.
Have they been out on the roof?
Yeah,
I think I've taken everybody out.
yeah. I mean, they're gonna be down and talk about some other things, but also, we could call them today and tell them it's a priority to get a price, if we want. Or, from a local contractor.
I mean, I tried to get this in here cleaned up here, so before the judge got up here, cause it was just swollen tile, just splattered. So, I mean, I'm trying to keep up with it to keep him calm, but.
$130-some odd thousand in from the state in the past couple of days, so that helped the balance.
bills. So, Libby, the next payroll, is that a larger one or?
I think it's about the same.
About the same?
Probably gonna have some overtime with you guys working ice storms and stuff on here, not too bad.
We got one holiday coming up on next payroll, it's the next department thing there.
Y'all had a chance to read the minutes?
I'm sorry, I wouldn't hear.
Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes, Gerald?
Yeah.
I'll second.
I'll make that motion.
We're both gonna vote aye?
Yeah.
They're approved.
We're good.
Very good, let's roll.
Do I have an agenda somewhere? Where it is?
She tries to hide it from you, she playing games with you.
Put all these bills on top of it, I know where priorities are at. Dan, you got anything else?
That's it.
Finding money right and left. Get you out on the road doing whatever you need to be doing. You want that, Darla?
Alrighty. We'll get it on there for land.
More work for her?
Just wanna ask you, does this seem silly that we do this every week?
Well, I signed about 3 of them the last go round for her. She's just been rotating out, I think. This is that from Michelle.
Let me run this over. Be right back.
You adopted the budget yet?
No, we're trying to finish it this week.
What we're saying on my part, Tammy mentioned this to me last year, and I was looking for a letter, and she just got it to us. I need to amend the part-time salary for her, roughly $300. So 2.5% or something, as opposed to 3.
She worked pretty cheap anyhow, ain't she?
Well, we need to buy cheaper than that. Well, I'll send a correction over, get it to you, probably today.
Have they got any money lately from us, me and Sam? Or do you know?
I'm cut off at the moment.
Huh?
But I'm cut off at the moment.
And Sam?
Every time you guys give me a highlighted thing, I take it to her, but I guess she was trying to do buybacks or something.
Sandy mentioned there's, some of the big ones that we can try to make some payments on if you can. Fuel and foods, but nothing.
It's at 17 something.
Did it save a lot of his?
I would hope we should be able to maybe get 90 days paid. It's $11,000, $12,000.
Well, they told me I have $1,800, so it's just one vendor needs paid.
Stacking stuff to see what he does. My weekly stack.
Yeah, I'll just,
Oh,
this is your,
you want me to keep it?
Yeah.
Okay.
like I said, I'll amend mine and send it over today.
Jeff, can we pay most of that? What money we have?
What did she have? 195? Surely they can get,
These parties?
I would think a lot of them paid, don't you, John? Payroll next week is 115 grand probably.
Yeah, and really you get a reimbursement of 20-some from the highway department. I mean, it'll be $100 all over, but you get the highways reimbursement in that, so
We would have
really just
a
the
good
negative effect.
80,000. Anything else exciting happening other than roof leaks?
I was gonna tell you that, I mentioned to you before about the vest that we have to buy this year. Salesman, we got coming down, we'll be here till, I think, the end of February, to do the fitting for it. Last week, fitted, then we'll get a price on what it's gonna be, probably in March.
Now, are we responsible? We buy it, you get 50% back eventually.
Upfront costs will probably be somewhere between $8,000 and $9,000, and within 60 to 90 days, if that grant comes through, we get half that back.
Is Lisa feel pretty confident about it?
Yeah, we've always applied for it and always got it. So So it's in the contracts, we gotta get somehow. Yeah, boots, for sure. That's about it.
Anything, John?
Sir.
Just
Hanging
get the
out
budget
today?
done, right? Just get the budget done.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime I do that,
That's what I said.
It's all good.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Out of that,
That's just what it is.
your property tax for county general, that's pretty close to what we're gonna get. I mean, just looking at the history and the way, because I think our EAV has been shrinking the last few years as
I
opposed
think
to
it shrunk again.
increasing.
It was in
I
the
would say,
paper. Wasn't that, in the paper for the school? I mean, that goes off the same number, doesn't it?
pretty close. I mean, we're doing countywide, they're doing for district, but yeah,
Oh,
it is.
that's right, yeah.
But I mean, that's the biggest
it's a
part of the
good
county,
year,
the biggest
yeah.
chunk of change in the county, but if it's going down, we're going down. So, which means, you know, when you apply the maximum rates, you know, you reach that maximum rate pretty quick. You know, it's, I mean, of course, this is not reflecting work, you know, we've got all of our anticipation warrants caught up. And really how it's supposed to work, an anticipation warrant is supposed to be sort of considered as a revenue, but you don't add it in. I guess you'd have to add it in if we get to that point, you have to do it. You know, it'll be over 3, but I've looked at the history from 2009, 2010, 2011, our revenues have gradually decreased. And I'm sure a lot of it's, but then you look in the hall here, like on the fees and fines from the state's attorney, they're gonna be going up. I mean, that's just, and like I say, those figures, did everybody get one of these? Those figures on that are, I tried to be conservative with all of them. I mean, hopefully we get more, but I try to be conservative.
Joe's got all kinds of good news.
And then, you know, hopefully the economy straighten out, and it's an easier projection to make at some point. It's, because used to, you could start in November and really, I mean, you could get real close to the revenues, but it just, you know, until the economy squares around, everything gets squared away, it's just really hard to make a projection, but I would say that's gonna be fairly close. It's a possibility, like in the fees and fines, you know, that's very conservative. You probably could get another 150,000 squeezed out of that.
And I just been kind of working on the budget a little bit myself, and it looks like I think we're gonna be about 3.3. Just kind of
Well, and again, a budget's a budget, we don't have to spend it. Just because it's budgeted, it does not have to be spent.
sorry.
And it's, unfortunately, this is a year, we've got 2 elections coming up.
Sorry, Jeff, go ahead.
Carry on, Joe. Tell them what's going on in your world.
This world's pretty stable.
No,
What, are you
his world
dismayed?
washed away.
No, we had a really large pipe washout. I guess over the weekend, I don't know when it was.
Where's it at?
It's on Dry Ridge Road, it's,
It ain't dry, huh?
no,
There's a Ridge Road. I haven't heard of that one.
It's north of Mermet.
Is it?
Jeff rented the track home and dug it out, I think.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
whole lot of scrap.
Good deal.
No, but it's-
Or the water just go through?
You know where you turn north on that junk?
Yeah.
That culvert is gone.
we don't know where
In
the
the river,
culverts
so-
went. I mean, that's the,
I mean, can't you find it?
Can't
No,
go.
10 foot by 40 or 50 foot long.
it's,
That's weird.
yeah, unbelievable that the thing is gone.
You think somebody told it out there? I mean, after.
I've been checking with Johnson County.
I mean, there's no place to get to it.
You'd have to have some major machinery to be able to pull it out of there too, you know. But I'm thinking it may be buried underneath some bean and wheat and corn debris or
Somewhere.
mud or something, but
Yeah.
it's just, you know, I don't know where it may have, Jeff said the bottom of it was rusting out, so it may have, the water pressure may have folded it up and
Yeah.
put it underneath something or whatever, but we're gonna have to get on replacing that. I've got a couple different prices on some pipe. I called the fella named Jim
Davis?
Davis?
Yeah.
He gave me a price on a similar type deal, 9-foot diameter. And I checked on a 9-foot regular corrugated metal aluminized pipe from Contact Construction Products. And actually, the Contact pipe is cheaper.
This Thompson, do you still deal with them in their Saxton?
No, I don't. I don't know that Thompson is even in business anymore.
Well, I think they sold out, but it's still,
Where would that be?
you know where the airport is?
Not positive.
Well, just go on in, go through the sales and keep going toward, and go down there.
Is it on the east side of 55?
Turn right, it said airport there, turn right and go back in under the airport.
The last time we bought something that was a contact problem, a contact, I mean, I can't even talk this morning. Product, it was Energy Culvert out of Energy that supplied it. I know that Contact over in Kentucky, Jones Steel supplies them. I mean, we can call and get pricing, you know, but I talked directly to a Contact rep this morning, and I don't have a solid price yet, but from off the cuff that he shot me, it's gonna be a little bit cheaper than this pipe that Jim has. Of course, you know, and he's selling, I guess, I don't know what they are, you know, over the cars or whatever, the big, thick.
Which one of them you think will last longer?
Honestly, the aluminized steel.
I wondered about that,
'Cause
because
it has
technically
coating.
it should not rot
Well,
for at
Yeah,
least
they
a
don't-
long time.
I mean, aluminized steel is projected to last, 80 to 90 years. The amount of study they have on it right now, that's what they project the lifespan of those to be. Just regular steel, I mean, obviously this one was put in '92 and it was rotted out.
I don't think, it wasn't a real heavy one, but anyhow.
But I'm gonna get a solid price,
See what
contact
happens.
before I make a decision, but, it may be a little longer to get it from Contact, but we may be talking a month versus 2 weeks or something like that.
Do you think that stopped, the reason it washed out? Or are
That's
you
my
gonna-
personal opinion, but I don't know.
Are you gonna go a bigger one?
Well, I wasn't, no, I mean,
Really don't even know. I
Really
know
don't
this
know what
pipe,
size it was.
It was an 8 foot at least, maybe 10. It was huge.
Yeah.
Larry actually stopped in yesterday and we asked him if he remembered putting it in, and he said Warren Bain had put it in. And, he said he thought it was a 9 or a 10.
Could have been,
A 9 or a 10. And there's no telling, there's no records on it in my office.
really,
The problem, is when you get much bigger than that, all the fields around it is gonna be flooded.
well, that's the thing there. The majority of the time that you get those big rains, that ditch is full anyhow, so it's not like you got headwater that can't get out. We're not,
Yeah.
that pipe has never really held water up. And if
According
it does, it's holding it on me, so it's not.
according to the hydraulics, if you wanted to design it for a 10-year design storm, it requires like a 14-foot.
So you kinda looked at the lay of the land up above it.
Yes, yeah, there's like almost 6 square miles draining through that. It goes all the way up to, New Columbia,
Yeah.
basically. And then all that water comes down that one ditch to that. But you wouldn't be able to do a 14-foot diameter pipe. There's not enough elevation there. What you'd have to do then is make a box culvert, make it wider than high and get the opening that way, or do a bridge. I mean, really, and honestly, it would be great to do a bridge there, but it, you're talking, instead of spending 15,000 on something, you'd be spending 80,000 on something. Or more, I don't know how. So, for what it is, I mean, the size pipe that was there, obviously, I guess it performed all right for these past years, except for this one thing
Yeah.
that happened, so.
Well, are those rail cars, are they all the same size?
No, some of them's
How
8
big can you
and,
get? 8?
9.6, I think is the biggest one I found.
Was that over the interstate there in Sykeston? That guy's got a bunch of pipe laying out there.
No, this was actually Jim Davis, this 9.6, he was the cheapest one we was calling, I guess about the same pipe,
Yeah.
so,
So we're gonna get on that, I mean, it's just another
another
bad
project.
thing that popped up, you know.
Anything else going on?
No, did you need more information on what?
No, I was
this
just,
morning?
I was curious just what our expenses were for the
Okay.
tornado.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that's total, what I gave you was the total dollar amount that we spent, regular time hours and overtime hours. And then our equipment, and that's, I forgot what the number I gave you, but it was 22 something
Let's see.
for the equipment, and 22,113 for the equipment, and around 12,4, something like that for the
It was
labor.
22,113 for the equipment and 12,142 for the labor.
Yeah. So around, just say 35,000.
I saw the state back up there yesterday. Brookport.
Are they picking some more goodies up? That's a good thing, man, it looked terrible.
That boy does, it looks like,
I wonder why they don't pick it up on that main drag right there by the funeral home.
Well, you know, they may have been there yesterday,
Okay,
but
because they told us that they was gonna keep picking it up until it was all gone.
are they letting them burn that?
I don't think they're supposed to, because there's a lot of tar paper and stuff on that, but I don't know what the,
Well, I seen them trucks headed for the dam
they
there.
may not be in Brookport, but you can see some smoke
Oh,
billowing
yeah.
up or down in the bottoms.
lawlessness. They're just trying to get on with their lives.
And renegades down there.
Other than that, I don't have any news this week.
Have you received, anything on your lot, just this
Any other equipment?
government issued thing?
Not lately.
No?
I
Did I hand you
think you
those?
may have received one second.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hopefully we got FedEx squared away, that we had to open an account, and then they come to find out, the fellow that's supposed to be shipping this stuff, then I had to calling them again, tell him he has access, you know, he needs access to that account so he can ship. I don't know what he's shipping, most likely be going to the, you know, the equipment, obviously, we're gonna have to pick up, but there must be some other items.
Actually, the last thing that we got was a aluminum box. It was a missile box, I guess.
Yeah, there's a missile box.
It's sitting on our yard somewhere. I don't know if it has a missile in it or not. Pretty darn heavy.
It's not, this missile ain't like 10 foot in diameter and 50 foot long, is it?
No, I wish it was. I wish it was.
Just hollow that puppy out.
Yeah, we could just
Jerk the guts out of it.
torch it and shut the ends off and throw it in there. Yeah, that'd be nice. But, no.
Well, you could, use
Wonder if
something
they got
like
any
that
spare
as a missile
missiles. We ain't-
Clean out that culvert. They're in the city down there behind Stell's house.
Just
Shoot
send
it
it
there.
up through there.
You, spoke to him more about the, like, pickup trucks and stuff, or?
No, I haven't actually talked to him here recently. No. I guess ever since he moved here, I haven't spoken to him.
When they gonna get back with you on your pipe deal, do you know? Or you gotta call him to get them, who have you gotta call to get a solid price? You talk to
I've
the
got
rep, but
Yeah, I've got to
you gotta
call
call
in.
retailer.
I called a rep that's actually my friend, it reps for Kentucky. He can get it for us, but
Yeah.
generally they like to stay in their areas. I've got to call into our Illinois guy, he just didn't call me back yet. I just wanted to have a price for today and kind of let you know what I found out, but he said generally speaking, they can, if you order it, they can probably get it made within 2 weeks and probably shipped, that same week.
Okay. Good.
So we're talking, 3 weeks or a month to get it in there and get it functional.
A month, it puts you on the 15th of February. I got about 30,000 bushel of corn trapped back there, supposed to be delivered in January, no pressure. I can roll that to February, and they would probably work with me. I haven't told them that I'm stranded, but
Well, that's right.
just relax. Everything's gonna be all right then.
I do need, John, I do need to come and talk with you sometime about our tax thing. I've been talking to some of the other county engineers about that Needy Township thing again.
Yeah, I don't understand the Needy Township,
The way that they're describing it to me is just weird, and I need to talk to you about it, because I don't understand.
you know, I do know that we've always met the requirements on the levy and the rate. Now, as far as the Needy Township thing, I'm not familiar with it whatsoever.
Yeah,
Go on.
that's something that I may need to call the people up in Springfield that actually calculate that to see what they're thinking that we're doing down here, because I think what they think we're doing and what we're doing may be two different things.
Go straight.
It wasn't an
And
issue
it follows that
until
bridge all the way
2 or
to
3
the
years
woods.
ago.
You know where Stratmeyer?
I don't know
Got
what's
the piece of
happened,
ground?
but I also had a lady from the
It hit
Department of
that road right there.
Transportation call me up, and wanted to know what a
Where
corporate
that
fund was.
buildings are?
She was talking about the county unit road, and I had it
The
down
curve
at
north
corporate
of that.
bridges.
Okay.
Well, that's the terminology they use in the tax levy and rate manual, and she didn't.
I call it the
she
sand
was
ditch. It
clueless.
curves and hits due
So,
south.
you know,
and hits
we'll try to
right over
figure it
by
out.
Bob Travis's.
I've got a
There's
feeling-
ground over in there.
You're dealing with some people that probably don't know exactly what they're doing.
So you're right, and I honestly, I think, and that's why I wanna sit down and talk to you for a while, and maybe call this lady while we're both sitting together.
Or Ronald
I think they're
buildings.
telling these other county engineers
No.
something that
On
doesn't
the other
happen
card,
yet.
the next one.
I just
The
can't
north
imagine
curve.
it happening this way anyway, but anyway.
Big
They
sweeping
said
curve.
that
Mhm.
the way that those taxes are
Well, right
levied
there where that patch of woods
is
is
that
at,
the
it
tax
follows the
assessor
ditch,
here
all the way to the where
takes
the
my
paved
budget
road
number,
is.
and that's what they assess.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't see how anybody uses somebody's
The
budget.
tax
number.
assessor,
Okay, where you
tax
turn
assessor
left
doesn't
on-
use your
on
budget
my
numbers
ground,
at all.
If you
I
look
didn't
into
think
them
so,
woods,
but
you
that's
can
what-
still see what Bobby's
that's what the
talking
people
about.
in Springfield are telling these other
You
county
see it
engineers is
like
what
a-
they do.
It looks like a road
And that's
bed.
why they
I
said they
think they need
knocked
to get-
them out
Well, I've always heard
of
it
the
was
Needy
there, but I
Township
never knew
funds is
where it went.
because they're calculating it that way up in Springfield, and
I think they need to get together with the Department of Revenue too, and try to figure that out. I mean, I'll go through the levy process with the county unit road, and as far as the assessor ever checking your budget out,
I don't even give them my budget.
No.
You know, I know it's public information, but still. It sounded so stupid to me, it just sounded, I mean, I couldn't even believe
it
anybody
does to me
believed that.
too, because we have never had an issue, except in the last couple of years.
I mean, this Needy Township money for us, because it's a big formula, there's all kinds of things involved. We weren't getting anywhere near the kind of money like Pulaski or Alexander was getting, because we're not as needy as they are.
Mhm.
We were only getting like $20-some thousand, and of course, it's $20,000, I mean, it's money that we
Yeah.
could use, but it's not the end of the world for us. Like, they were, you know, like Pulaski was getting like almost 80,000, and 80,000 to them means a
Huge.
lot. It means a lot.
And like I say, anytime you wanna get together, we'll get, I mean, I know we're maxing county unit road out every year. We hit the maximum rates. And that is by design, I know that. But I don't know what they're,
I'm gonna call this lady and find out what she's thinking we're doing, and I'll get with you, and then we may call her back.
all right. Well, then what, just give me a chance to digest it, and I'll get with some other county clerks that may be a little sharper at it than I am. I mean, I've done the levy, but, we've never had an issue like that. But like I say, a year and a half ago, a lady called up and said, what's the corporate fund? And if she would have looked in the tax rate and levy manual that is sent to me, that's the terminology they use. You got county unit road, which all goes into corporate, And then you've got county unit bridge, which goes into bridges. And I fill out that, and we've maxed them out every year. And I don't, and she called up and said, what's a corporate fund? Is that for the roads? I said, well, yeah.
Okay.
Did you ask earlier if he's having an auction or? what-
Oh, yeah, are you planning on any auctions coming up?
We don't have one scheduled or
All
planned
right.
yet.
There's really not all that much spare stuff
Probably don't
left out
have that
there,
much
is
to
there?
do.
We may have a few things, maybe, well, if we ever do get another service truck, we may have an old truck.
I mean, that's
something
just,
like-
You got stuff
we
you
don't
want to
have anything.
sell? Is that why you asked her?
I don't, we got, you know, we got stuff that could be taken out there, but the big draw is your equipment.
But, yeah, we don't.
And there's no sense for us expending the money for advertising and stuff until you can benefit from it. And just let us sort of bring stuff out there and dump on you, because it's always seems old computer equipment goes pretty good. I mean, very, very cheap, but it gets it out of the courthouse.
Well, if we do plan on something, it won't be until probably fall.
Mhm. I mean, there's no pressure at this point, but if you do have one, you know, I'll need to make some plans here, we'll bring some stuff out there to set up.
I'll be sure to let you know, will you?
Text me what you find out, if you would. You got my cell phone number, right?
On the pipe?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, sounds good.
Are you guys ready for us?
I'm ready
We're not
when
sure
you're
where
ready.
you're at
Carry
in this
on.
meeting.
Yes.
Okay,
You're
well, we
front and center.
represent Illinois Strong. And I'm Becky Hawes. Belinda Hodges.
Sabrina Beck.
And Sarah Jennings isn't here. She's also part of our group. She wasn't able to make it today.
Okay.
This is a flyer that we're gonna be getting copies of and putting up in the community that kind of tells about our program. And basically, this is for anyone in Massac County, whether they were directly or indirectly affected by the tornado in November. They don't have to have lived in the tornado area. It could be even someone in Metropolis or even Joppa that possibly their children are having nightmares now because they heard of the devastation or saw it, or even EMT workers that saw, you know, the disaster over there. So it's anybody that would benefit from just talking to someone. We're gonna provide information, education, emotional support, and links to resources. And I'm currently working on resources, so if you all know of any agencies or groups that have something to offer in the area of help, and it could be money or clothing or furniture, any resources, if you could let me know that would be great, because I am working on that. We are gonna start giving presentations in the schools and in the community and at meetings like this. Right now, we're just kind of getting our name out, so we're not really doing any big presentations, just kind of short, sweet, this is who we are. We're trying to work up some sort of like puppet magic show for the schools, just to get the kids where they feel comfortable. If they need to talk, they can. In the end, we will be going into homes, people that want to talk, or we're crisis counselors, but we're not doing like in-depth counseling. It's just kind of a surface, and then if they need further counseling, then we're gonna refer them to, you know, mental health or somewhere else where they can receive that. We are a FEMA-funded grant, and I know right now everybody's like, oh, FEMA, because of what's on the news, but it is a FEMA-funded grant paid into Massac Mental Health, and then Massac Mental Health hired us to do these services. So there's an 800 number that goes to, is it Chicago? I'm not sure
I
where
don't
the
know where the
hotline is,
hotline
but
is
it's
exactly.
manned 24/7, and then they have our number, and then they call us if there's someone in Massac County that needs our services. So that's the flyer there. These are pamphlets that we're also gonna be handing out. The blue one is for adults, and the green one is more related to children and the services that we provide for both.
So like for instance, I guess like Brookport School, the teachers are, with the children would kind of let you know some kids that seem like
Mhm.
they're having some issues,
Right.
that you can work with those. Is that
Right.
or the principal, I guess?
Yeah, we're all about linkages though, so, I mean, we can touch base with these kids and see how they're doing, but we're not gonna continue to see them week after week, you know? If it's a kid who maybe he's just concerned about his family needs help, you know, we can see how to get them help. If it's a kid who maybe has some emotional
You're just kind of like
distress,
the first line that sees the person that
Yeah.
decides
Right.
what agency they need to work with
Yeah.
for continuing
Right.
counseling. Okay.
we're just people who hopefully have a good heart and want to,
Be helpful.
want to help as much
Right.
as we can, but
I seen y'all had an ad, I think at the Paducah Sun, I read.
We also had an ad recently in the Metropolis Planet,
Okay.
and it had the Illinois Strong symbol at the bottom. We are in the process, we're gonna try to get our picture in there, so that way the people that see it can kinda go, oh, it is our actual group, and this is what they look like, so that way when they see us out on the street, they can kind of associate a picture with a name.
Are you all sending kind of information to the people that was directly affected?
Right now, we're starting with like groups and businesses. We're gonna go out next week and hit the schools, a lot of the doctor's offices, and so we're trying to get the information out there right now. And then definitely, if anybody knows of a family or an individual that was affected, that's what we're wanting. We're wanting people to start giving us names and phone numbers, and then, you know, we will call them and ask, you know, would you like for us to come see you? Or if you have an address, you know, we can stop by those people's houses and give them our information and just say, you know, we're here if you need us, you know, we're not gonna push.
We have, I don't know, I guess you can check with Joe Miller, the ESDA director.
Yeah,
But we have the list of everyone that was affected and their addresses.
but I don't know if they can give us that.
That's what I'm asking.
So,
You'd
yeah,
have to
and see,
check
that's
with him.
what, you know, cause even
have
though
to
we're
check with
FEMA funded, FEMA cannot give us the names and addresses and phone numbers of the people. So it's kind of a hairy
They need to-
situation,
Right.
and so, I mean, if they have, you know, if you have their permission, or if they've signed a waiver or whatever, then, you know, we don't care to take it, but I don't want you guys to get in trouble, and we
That's
don't wanna
why
get in
I said
trouble.
just to
I
ask
just
you.
wonder if ESDA could send these people a mailing with your
Yeah.
information in it,
Yeah,
without
yeah,
telling you
we're
anything.
we're gonna try to, first, hit those 200 and, what's the number exactly?
227,
Yeah.
221.
We're gonna try to hit those people first with, getting them some kind of a mailing and making contact with them. And then from there, you know, branching out a little bit to whether it's the emergency responders that maybe need a little
Right.
help from some
Have
direction.
you talked to our sheriff's department?
This is
We're
actually
there.
our first
We are.
meeting.
We
So
just,
we're
I'm gonna go meet with them after.
Yeah.
we just had our training Thursday and Friday of last week, so we've kinda hit the ground running here and
We had our first team meeting yesterday, and so this is actually our first group, as a group, talking, so.
that means you guys are important, that's why we came.
Yeah,
Well, one thing that take away, you know, amongst all this other stuff, the one most important thing that we would like for you all to know today, well, maybe three important things. One is that the very importance of those who haven't registered, that they do register if they were affected in any way, shape, or form, whether they had insurance or not. The important thing is to register. If it's not just to help yourself, but it's to help your community, your fellow neighbor who have had damage, and the numbers are very important. The deadline is January 27th, so that's very, very important that folks register, whether they've fixed their property already, or if they have insurance, they could be underinsured, they could not have insurance. So register by the deadline on January 27th. And that this is a different program, a crisis counseling program, other than what you've heard on TV for the public assistance program. The news reports say FEMA denies Brookport funding. that's a specific program. What we're doing is a different program. It's an ISP, immediate service program.
And it focused more on the individual households.
And, yeah, there's two focuses, those who were directly affected and also the Massac community as a whole. You could have a friend or a classmate, teachers, first responders, law enforcement, in their day-to-day work, they're doing what they're trained to do. However, the impact of this magnitude of the tornado, along with the history of the other disaster events that we've had, could have an impact. And this program is designed to provide information, education, linkages to services,
And we
short-term
have
and
the
long-term.
ability to go where the people are. If they've been displaced, and even if they're over in Kentucky, we can go there to try to help them.
And the first phase of this program is making the Massac community aware that this program, Illinois Strong, exists. And it will develop from there using a model that we were given at training, so.
There's a lady right there that can help you out a whole lot.
Yeah.
She's making notes.
And the ESDA office is just straight downstairs.
Okay.
Joe Miller, if you all wanna speak to him about, helping you all out as well.
Is he there now, or is he?
He should be, he's usually here every
Okay.
day till, noon.
Did you move too?
We're living out on North Avenue in a rental house right now,
Okay.
but you've got nice new neighbors, so.
Well, I don't know, it's taken me a long time to clear that block out, but I've been successful.
Good job.
The one who wants to live next to John, huh?
That's why we had to get out because we didn't have any neighbors. My kids were so lonely.
Oh, I know it, there's not any young people in that
Oh,
neighborhood.
it's sad.
Well, you got Lab Dunning though, he's young at heart, that's.
Well,
Leb and I are
appreciate
trying
your
to take
time
credit.
today.
Just so y'all know who's walking around in your
Yeah.
county
Yeah.
and what we're doing and the purpose.
Good thing.